So today we are building a $450 custom mechanical keyboard. I want to give a huge thank you to Drop for sending out all of the parts for this build, and if you're interested in anything you see in this video, be sure to go check out the link in my description to Drop's website because all of the parts are there. I streamed this entire keyboard build on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/FRSlush, and if you want to see some more gameplay streams or just some more streams just like this one, be sure to go drop a follow on that. If you're new to the channel, you know the drill, like and subscribe. With all that being said, I'm going to start off the video by talking about all of the parts for this build. For the case, we have the Drop Alt High Profile Bare Bones kit in black. This is a 65% case, and because it's a bare bones kit, it already has the PCB and stabilizers put in for me. Inside the box, you get the instructions and the case itself. Visually, I think this case looks really amazing as it maintains that black look all throughout the board and there's barely any white showing, and once you put the switches in, you won't be able to see any at all. Now, I did want RGB on this board, but I didn't want a ton to be coming out, so this little stripe on the outside works really perfectly for me. As soon as you plug it in, it lights up, and I think it looks great. Although the hotspots are defined, it's not as bad when it's on a solid color, and I honestly don't mind it. Another cool feature is that you can plug this in on both the left and right side of the case as it has two USB ports. Overall, I'm really excited to work with it. For the switches, we went with the Drop Holy Pandas, and these are a super nice tactile switch, and since I've never worked with tactile switches before, I was really curious to hear what they sound like. I was really impressed with the packaging as it actually feels premium, and most switches don't come in these nice rows for you. They're a bit clicky for my taste straight out of the box, but I'm really excited to hear what they sound like after I've done some work to them. And overall, I'm excited to get a change from the usual linears. The keycaps are also from Drop, and this is their MT3 Profile black on white keycap set. The packaging is pretty basic, but they do take precautions to make sure that the keycaps don't get damaged in shipping, which is a nice touch. These switches are built for comfort, and they have a nice kind of scooped in feeling on the top, which is a very big difference from the usual Cherry profile. These are double shot PBT, and the profile is very similar to SA. Now, Drop is kind of notoriously known for having pretty subpar stabilizers, so the first thing I did as for mods is to pick up these Durock plate mounted stabilizers. These should perform much better than Drop's stock stabilizers. To help these sound better, we have dielectric grease, and for the switches, we have Tribosys 3204 lube. This is a little thinner than Krytox 205, which makes it perfect for tactiles. Alright chat, when I switch this scene, I want to see everybody in chat saying hi YouTube, alright? When I switch this scene, I want everybody to say hi YouTube. Okay. What's up everybody? Alright, who's out for the keyboard build, dude? Holy, oh my god, everyone's saying hi YouTube. The first thing I did to this keyboard build was lube, clip, and use dielectric grease on the stabilizers. Stabilizers are very important in how your keyboard comes out both in feel and sound, so I wanted to make sure I had a good baseline set before I even started with any of the switches. This process only took about 20 minutes to finish all of the stabilizers, and then I moved on to the switches themselves. The switches took a very long time to finish, and I think it was almost 3.5 hours. Now, I did have a few friends come and go throughout the streams to chill with me while I built it, so if you do want to check them out, their Twitch links will be on the screen. Now, I lubed basically every part of the switch, from the stem to the housing to the springs, and I kind of just did this because they're tactile switches and I didn't want them to feel too scratchy. In my experience, tactiles usually need a lot more work done to make them feel premium than linears do, as linears out of the box are usually a bit more smooth. However, I was careful to not apply too much lube because if you do that, the tactile bump on the switches becomes a lot less defined and it kind of ruins the point of tactiles. For me personally, I wanted to feel and hear a very defined bump in the middle of the switch, and I didn't want it to feel like my other linear switches. The goal of this build for me was to try something new and kind of dip my toe into the waters of tactiles and see how much I liked them. Lubing switches is definitely the most annoying part of any keyboard build, but arguably also the most important and impactful. Again, this took me, I think, 3.5 hours to finish, and throughout that time, I basically took no breaks and had no stops. If you're looking to modify your own keyboard, I would definitely recommend lubing your switches, and there's plenty of guides on the internet, and I would especially recommend Teotype's videos as they're usually very in-depth and very well filmed. For me personally, I've lubed a lot of switches before, so I already had a really good idea of what to do. It's just a pretty long and tedious process to finally get finished. This took up the majority of the stream, so big thank you to everybody that stayed in the streams and was chatting with me while I did it. It definitely made the process a lot less boring, and I really appreciate all you guys. After finishing the lubing process comes my favorite part of any keyboard build, which is finally putting on the keycaps. After the long process of modifying every part of my keyboard, it's just super satisfying to finally see it come together in front of me, and putting on all those keycaps really feels like a reward. After that, I did test all of the switches, and thankfully I had no problems with any part of my keyboard. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and if you want to see for yourself, well, here you go. Overall, I'm super happy with how the build turned out, and I honestly really like the sound. I think I still prefer linears over the feel of these tactiles, but I haven't really used any top tier linear switches yet, so I don't know. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to go check out my Twitch stream linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.